This episode of Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
What about our Quasar podcast, The Quantum Zone?
Such a dork.
Wendell Vaughn, the first Earthman ever created the protector of the universe, bonded to the energy-transforming quantum bands that were both weapons and symbols of his station, he fought an ongoing battle to defend all life in the universe from cosmic evil, as Quasar.
Sparkly quantum tentacles.
Hello, spreading the love all around. Welcome back to the Quantum Zone. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, is, you know what? Let's change it up this time. Master of Horror, Boston's favorite son.
That's me, Matt.
Hey.
I'm trying to master my horror domain. Master.
You said horror. He said horror-dom, so.
Horror.
And I introduced Matt first, so that other fellow could spend more time reading his new Quasar trade.
That's right. I will. Hey, everyone.
So you both got your trade. So
Yep.
I know Will said he enjoyed the you guys were talking about the intro and the stuff in the back. So
Pretty good stuff. Yeah, it's so
there was an error.
I think it was a misremembering on Ralph's part, but he said he used to think that the power source of the quantum bands. It's October. It's Halloween thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Was quasars, but he says it was something closer to home, our very own star, the sun. I'm like, wait, what? I don't remember that part.
No.
I thought it was the whole quantum zone.
No, wrong.
But you know what?
He's like Superman, right? Yeah. He's talking about the sun. Yeah.
It doesn't matter because I finally have it, my precious. It's awesome.
Mine's in the other room, so I'm not snuggling up with it, but yeah, it looks real good.
It is 10
two
to
for
20
one. He throws it next to the wife. She like, oh, let's cuddle. Okay. And
not sorry. 16 issues for a cover price of $34.99, but significantly cheaper on Amazon. Nice.
Yes.
So,
Around like $20 if you got Amazon Prime. It kind of rounded out to around that.
oh, yeah,
Yep.
that's right. Yeah, because I was going to
Not bad.
say, I wasn't going to get it for myself because I have the issues, but maybe I'll buy one or two for Christmas presents.
It's
Not bad.
I wish we would have got promo copies to give out. You know, I would have stick a little thing on the inside cover. Brought to you by the fine folks at the Quantum Zone.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
They also reprint the Name the Character contest from was it 16 or 15
Oh yeah.
or 14? But it was part of.
Yeah, I don't
the
even
mystery.
remember that contest, but yeah, that's cool.
Hmm.
I enjoyed that.
And
What
then
did you
they
think about the cover? So the cover, yeah,
He already said-
it's
Don't
the
get me
Todd
wrong.
McFarlane one, which they were trying to get some eyes on it. I think they're
guess.
doing that again, trying
Well,
to
that's
get this, but
That's the first thing Will
it
said.
doesn't really
that's-
jump out as Quasar.
That's like the first thing Will mentioned was that cover. We're like, we basically, that's like the last one we would have gone with.
I mean, you've got the Steve Lytle cover, the Jim Lee cover, the Magnola cover, which they have on the back. It's
Or even
Yeah,
later,
yeah.
later the Capullo stuff.
the Capullo covers. I mean, you got the Manly's 10, 11, and 12, 13, 10, 11, and 12, and then 17.
Like I said, I think issue 16, that last part of Cosmos, Journey in the Mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Steve Lytle one. That is pretty awesome. I do
Yeah.
love that one a lot.
And I was talking to Superfan Shoshin, and that's the only issue he doesn't have. But I have a double of it, so I'm gonna make his little Christmas or something.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Send that off to him, so.
But wait,
Yeah, I'm announcing my good deed.
is it going to be a surprise? Because Sorry.
Well, he might get it by the time this airs. So
okay, cool.
Unless he watches YouTube.
Yeah.
But
if he watches YouTube, I'll mail it to the other person that sent a review that I sent the 2-in-1 to. So yeah.
So look at this, guys. We have now. We live in an age undreamt of, where I hold in my hands the first 25 issues of Quasar, plus Avengers annual story and the Marvel Comics Presents story. Truly, this is an age of wonders.
Yeah. And I also, like Phil, I have the issues too, but I kind of just wanted to buy it to kind of support the scene that, that Quasar had a book coming out, and if something happens to my copies or whatever, I got it. So
I said, I might buy one or two and maybe give them out, and they're going to be like, "Oh, you're pimping your podcast." Okay.
Yeah. Pimping the subject of our podcast. Sorry.
Pimping ain't easy. But anyway, what I wanted to bring up is I sent you, I believe, what was it, last night? I sent you guys the link. In 2019, I believe in January, they're coming out with a new, for the 80th anniversary of Marvel, they're putting out a new Marvel Comics Presents series.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
And since Quasar was in the 29th issue of the first one, they should do. That's what they should, because I think the first issue is like Wolverine, and then there's like a Namor and Cap story or something. I'm like, put characters in there who like don't show up all the time. I'm like, let's get a Quasar, get
a Quasar story
series going in there, written by, we have a comic book writer here, and two guys willing to throw ideas at him.
Oh, but not even just Quasar. I mean, you've got characters like the Black Knight, Avengers that we haven't seen in a while.
True.
Stingray. Sorry.
He might not be around, remember?
That's very true. But I mean, there are so many underutilized characters in the Marvel universe that, just give them just a teeny tiny bit of love, right?
Let's kill two birds with one stone. Get like Quasar traveling. Wendell, gets the quantum bands back, traveling around and checking out all kinds of strange phenomenon. And meanwhile, you get the showcase different.
Oh yeah.
Characters you haven't seen in a while.
It's the new Marvel team up or new Marvel 2-in-1. I mean, that would work really well.
Oh, Quasar team up book. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
What if we kind of reconned the whole Captain America Scourge story where he kills off all those supervillains no one's ever heard of? I'd like to see Quasar go head to head with Turner D. Century. That's my.
Okay, I have to officially bow down at the sheer breadth of knowledge that it takes to mention Turner D. Century. So I'm not worthy.
all I have to say is justice has been served. But yeah, instead of like throwing I know they're popular, but instead of throwing Wolverine in 20 books or Captain America or whoever, start, give us a Marvel Comics Presents with these characters who don't have their own books,
Or a cosmic book. I mean, Quasar Nova team up. They were great in Annihilation together. And
then they're coming out with that Guardians book with 20 different characters, but Quasar's in it. How can you have a cosmic book with all this giant cast and not have the Protector of the Universe?
Mm-hmm. He's busy doing something else, protecting the universe.
Yeah.
I mean, they're rebooting Green Lantern. They're rebooting Green Lantern for the 60th time with Grant Morrison. So come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to wrap up the we have the full list of the potential Guardians, right? They're not all going to be it from that silhouette.
Oh yeah. No, I don't think it. Yeah. Yeah, that guy we thought was Quasar was Adam Warlock.
Warlock.
How many times are you going to kill him and bring him back?
Old Vampire Stone. Come on.
Yeah. All right, so should we jump into this issue?
Yeah. But I do want to
get it. It's in the ocean. Don't dive in.
Oh,
Dive in.
Cannonball. Yeah, cannonball. I was reading an old Avengers Thanos trade, and there's an old Warlock in there, and I didn't know the original Magus had an afro, which I thought was pretty entertaining. I only remember him from the Infinity War and Gauntlet.
Yeah, where his hair was like more normal. Yeah, but yeah, Adam Warlock's evil double. Yeah, what was it in the 70s? He had like the big white fro.
Yeah, it was his future self, so he's going to go through a disco phase. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's right. So send in your thoughts. Who has the craziest hairstyle? Can anyone beat the Magus?
Ben Grimm. Sorry.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Those are all ingrown hairs, though.
Yeah.
All right. So, The Crossing Line, Part 2 from Avengers 320, early August 1990. Fabian Nicieza, Paul Ryan, Tom Palmer. Oh, letters, Morelli. Is that like Madonna? Morelli. Renee Witter, Statter, Colors, Howard Mackey, editor, and of course, DeFalco, chief. All right, everyone, get your scorecard out because remember, the Avengers in this issue: Captain America, the Vision, Cersei, Quasar,
Yes,
Stingray. And, of course, the People's Protectorate from Russia, Red Guardian, Vostok, Phantasma, the Crimson Dynamo, and Perun. And now let's throw in some Atlanteans.
And, spoilers, at the end, some other people.
That's right. Oh, you're really going to need a scorecard. So, the leader of the Atlanteans says, "For the eternal undersea realm of Atlantis, we defend our sovereign land unto death. Ours or yours." We're not picky.
It's nice that he gives him the option.
Yeah, it's really open-minded of him, isn't it?
But it's like, I wonder what we're gonna pick. Let's see, your death or ours. Let me think long and hard on that.
Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm still thinking.
I get it, yours.
Yeah, I'll take yours for 50, Alex.
So the Avengers and Russians who are fighting each other all turn and look and like, comrades, and Quasar's like, now we're comrades, Dynamo. A second ago, here's your quick recap. A second ago, we were fighting over a stolen submarine. Vision, Quasar, it would appear we have to put aside our differences for the moment. It would be in our best interest to prevent the Atlantean army from attacking the Waterwind vessel as expediently as possible. And of course, Vostok, that would be the most judicious course of action, Vision. And I love Perun. All right, here's the thought I had while reading this. He says, "Well then, since I'm rapidly running out of breath, let the merriment commence," as he hits the first one with his axe. How hard would it be to he's like in Thor class, right? To like have a scuba tank or something with air, or at least one of like one of those helmets the Avengers had in space. Something.
Yeah. You'd think they would have, since they were going underwater, maybe would have, I don't know, sent him with that, But
I mean, you knew where you were going. Yeah, the guy can probably hold his breath for like an hour, but if you don't have to, why should you?
Exactly. Like, I don't know if you're Quasar flying in a Quinjet instead of flying with the Quantum Man. Sorry, I'm not going to leave that alone.
I don't know.
Editor's note. See last podcast.
Yeah, that's right. And then the Crimson Dynamo gets in and says, "Always the first to battle, Perun. Occasionally, might we not prefer conversation to devastation?" Sounds like song lyrics, especially considering these beings may be justified in defending their land. That's right. Let's slap some American Indians. And who's this? Orca says, "If you've hurt Morano, I will." And he tries to swipe at Vision and goes right through him. "I have complete control over the density of my synthetic body, Orca." So, all right, so there we go. Density, not destiny.
Not destiny.
"Cannot harm me if I don't wish to be harmed. Unfortunately for you, the situation is not reciprocal. By partially solidifying myself around your heart, I can render you unconscious," as he tries to put his hand through his heart, but he can't reach. Baby Orca's heart is safe inside Orca's fat, a robot. And of course, the old, I'm not a robot, I am a synthezoid, although your point is accurate. And Vostok, my fellow construct requires some assistance. A simple enough matter for me to manipulate the machinery of the Atlantean craft. And so he takes one of their ships and wraps it around Orca. The shiny one waves his hand and the Sea Scout traps me. What sorcery is this? Purely a scientific explanation, Orca. Vostok is an amalgamation of human, alien, and computer technology. Can control all forms of machinery. So alien tech?
I didn't know that, yeah.
Huh. Now that he has welded his powers to useful effect, allow me to respond in kind, and Vision basically drives most of his body in the Orca's chest and then partially solidifies. What? You are flying in me? Get out. Says, as I suspected, my arm was not long enough to reach his heart, but my entire body was. Well, I didn't know the Vision had. I thought the Vision was emotionless here, right? But he's still breaking hearts.
Yeah.
It would seem Vostok, the Avengers, and the People's Protectorate function more efficiently as allies than opponents. Then let us work together to deter the Atlanteans and apprehend the Water Wind. All right, now here's my other problem. Okay, I understand later in the issue, Cersei says that she gave herself gills. But still, if she's trying to talk underwater, what are
I think we have to suspend our disbelief
I
at this
guess.
point.
Yeah.
Or couldn't she
I just want more accurate word bubble water bubbles, I guess.
Didn't we have those helmets last issue? Why don't they have those helmets? At least Cersei like have that helmet again. Yeah. Just if for no other reason, it probably has like a built-in communicator or something.
And she gives herself gills. Why? Eternals don't actually need to breathe, right? I mean, they run on cosmic energy, so maybe she just likes it.
Maybe she thought it would help her speech. I don't know. Because she sees Vostok and Vision working together and says, "Oh, it's so pleasant to see you boys kissing and making up. Allow my powers of matter transmutation to continue this loving feeling." And the Atlantean's rifle starts shooting flowers. Which
she hasn't lost this loving feeling.
Whoa, that loving feeling. But then we see Captain America calling Red Guardian and from ship to ship. Red Guardian, this is Captain America. Pull your people away from the Water Wind. Our battle is placing it at far too great a risk. And one of the Atlanteans is thinking, these surface dwellers are too formidable, though it is not my want to strike a foe in a dishonorable manner. Their sheer strength of force and the threat they pose to our homeland leaves me little choice. As he's about to shoot Quasar and Cersei in the back. And, well, Cersei's telling Quasar, more friendly faces to the left. I see them. And Perun says, the base coward seeks to attack my allies from behind. Ales had best be raised to my honor when this day is done. as he throws his axe at the gun. But the shot goes wild because inside the Water Wind, the Soviet terrorists who call themselves the Peace Corps, again, CORPSE, reel from the misfired concussive blast. 15 hours, 37 minutes and counting.
It's ticking down.
102. Russian name, damage report. I'm still trying to understand the monitor's other Russian name. I'm here because of my knowledge of international politics. Remember, I have it. No core damage. Reactor is stable. I recommend we evacuate the area as soon as possible. No, Mendev, we do not flee. We are soldiers. The British traitors and they're bloody superhumans and crazy fishmen, right?
Right.
How does he know that fishmen are crazy? Come on.
That's right. How many fishmen do you know?
Yeah.
It's just being racist.
Yeah.
We will accomplish nothing by engaging these so-called heroes. The radar indicates the fighting is moving away from us. We have some major system faults. Cold General. We need time to birth and effect repairs. Mendev, plot a course for the nearest coastal region. Our only hope of successful implementing Our only hope of successfully implementing our plan lies in our ability to effectively threaten the United States, and we cannot do that in a damaged vessel. Oh. But meanwhile, outside, as in underwater, the water wind is listing to starboard. It's sustained damage, Cap says. That perhaps it would be better to allow them to escape and continue altercation with the Atlanteans. No, Red Guardian says in his broken English. Perhaps it would get them out of this war zone, but how long before one side suffers a serious casualty? For our lost honor, for Atlantis. And Quasar goes, for crying out loud. This is getting ridiculous.
Oh, it's just getting started.
I'm surprised he's not saying, can you please stop attacking us? Vision, indeed, this fruitless fighting deters us from our real reason for being here. Stingray says, Vision is right. I was stunned for a while after the Atlanteans' initial volley, but I was trying to sneak aboard the sub. Maybe it's time to go back to my original plan, especially since little old Stingray has the best chance of succeeding, and I'm quite frankly repulsed by the idea of fighting a group of people who are simply protecting their war-ravaged land. So, what kind of like, I don't know, does Stingray have like boot jets or anything? Because he keeps up with the sub pretty. I know the sub's damaged, but he's keeping up with the sub pretty well.
Now, this is straining my brain here, but when Armor Wars was going on with Iron Man,
yeah, I know he had some Stark tech, but they didn't get too specific, did they?
Yeah, they did. I don't think. Yeah, I can't remember. It was just a little bit of Stark tech because he basically disabled him, right, and left him.
Yeah.
I thought they brought him along because he was the strongest swimmer.
Well, yeah, because Namor wasn't picking up the phone. Yeah. Here's the Wikipedia. Where are powers? Powers and abilities. An armored exoskeleton.
You think Namor wasn't picking up the phone because he was on the other line and it was a fishing line? Okay.
Wow.
A bit of a stretch.
An armored exoskeleton suit composed of a super hard artificial cartilage designed mainly for underwater use. The Stingray battle suit enhances his strength and durability to superhuman levels, which allow him to operate within the crushing pressures of the ocean depths. His suit is equipped with an oxygen diffusing system, providing of course he has air. The suit also gives him enhanced swimming speed, and its streamlined wings allow him to glide through air for great distances.
So he can sort of fly or glide, I guess. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. The suit's chief offensive weapon is a powerful electrical discharge device built into the exoskeleton, able to project bolts of up to 20,000 volts through air or water and released through the gloves.
Oh, cool.
And Walter Nuo has a gifted intellect and has a PhD in oceanography.
He's an oceanographer, not a superhero.
Wait a minute.
I'm an oceanographer, not an Avenger. All right, so I guess it's all right for him to make it to the sub because he does. I should be able to get in again through the torpedo tube. Good thing they're not shooting any torpedoes without being detected. Handbook of the Marvel Universe.
Let me see if I can find him.
Nice.
Okay, go ahead and keep going, and I will see if I can find him.
And in case thinking, of course, once I get in, I have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm an oceanographer, not a superhero. I could have stayed at OMIT. Is that Ocean MIT?
Yeah. I like that.
When Cap called, told him I had a hangnail or something, but no, if there's a problem under the ocean waves, they call Namor. If he's too busy to answer, they call me.
So he's not operating under any, false assumptions, right?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
He's the rebound superhero, yeah. And noble, caring, altruistic dunce that I am, I always say yes. Whew, glad I got that out of my system. Now it's fine. Man, him and Quasar should have like a support group. Now let's find a way to down this sub.
It should be known that Stingray's costume, in addition to the armor, is made exclusively of wet blankets. So the real downer.
Oh, because he's in the ocean. Okay. Ilyich, we're close to a landmass. Though with this radar, cannot be sure. All of our electrical systems are defaulting, sir. We have best surface now. May leave us vulnerable for a while, but we have no real choice. Very well. Take us up, Mendev. And, of course, they surface 15 hours, 37 minutes and counting. They're rising. We must have surfaced. And Stingray's like, either the terrorists have reached their destination or the ship is damaged worse than I thought. I haven't been able to find the crew complement yet. I'll need them to commandeer the... Hello. Don't be alarmed. My name's Stingray. I'm with the Avengers. See, I'm not a Avenger. I'm with the Avengers.
I'm on the guest list.
And another British guy. Lieutenant Ryan, sir, have we surfaced? Says, yes, your vessel's been damaged. The terrorists have need to repair it. Now is the best chance we'll have to stop them. And he said, the British officer said, they wanted to go to New York, sir. We can't be near there yet. The nearest closest land mass was Newfoundland.
Canada.
I was going to say, whose territory is that?
I don't know.
What superheroes might be showing up? I don't know. Might be... I wonder how long that flight is for them. So Stingray says, all right, then, let's see if we can contact the Avengers with this information. And you see a Russian in the shadows saying, yes, American, I will make certain you do that, ensuring a deadly conclusion to this conflict. Meanwhile, speaking of conflict, Quasar's blasting a fishman and says, I don't recall ever being involved in such a ferocious battle. I'm actually starting to tire out mentally, if not physically. What happens if I accidentally kill an Atlantean because I'm exhausted?
That's Wendell.
Hey, man, he's the one to get his hands dirty. Blood Brothers. And then we see Red Guardian. Captain, the Atlanteans begin to break my craft. And Cap, I understand, Red Guardian. I'm not sure what we can do. Most of the Quinjet's defenses are long range or don't work underwater. We may have to initiate a strategic retreat. But who comes to the rescue? Quasar. Now, gentlemen, I'm not so tired that I can't see you trying to sneak in through the windows. As he blasts a bunch of them off the Quinjet.
Shack attack.
Yeah. And even though most of us are questioning the need for this fight, I still couldn't let you drown Cap. And Red Guardian's like, your comrade's assist does not do good for but then Quasar smacks the net into the Atlanteans on the Russian ship, and he's like, never mind. And then we see Russian Thor say, battling Atlantean. The Atlantean's like, you will have to run out of oxygen soon, surface dweller. Again, you'll have to run out of water soon, surface dweller. And Piran's like, the blue toad is right. My axe. Now, Fishman, because Piran's not talking, he's holding his breath. Allow me to unleash the lightning of the gods and see who runs out of breath. So the Atlanteans start retreating. Quasar's like, they're leaving. And Voss talk, but their main leader's downed. They could not sustain a counterattack. And Piran's like, not a moment too soon. And Red Guardian protectors report back to the Rod 1. Our mission is far from over. And Crimson Dynamo, the boy is always pushing himself and us. And again, Piran's like almost run out of air. Not the crisp, clean air of the Carpathians, but it is sweet nonetheless. Again, use a scuba tank then.
Come on, please, or a bubble over your head. Yeah, whatever.
Something. Even if you had,
the Russian naval budget is a little low at this point.
Okay.
You know?
But again, even if you put like a glass dome over your head with like no air tank, at least wouldn't that trap a little bit more air in there?
Well, all the old tanks still had the sickle and the hammer on it, and they're rebranding, so they have to throw all that stuff out. So,
some like cosmonaut helmet, something.
Hey, in the entry for Stingray here, in the good old official handbook, it says that he appeared in Iron Man 226 during Armor Wars, was mistakenly attacked by Iron Man, so I don't guess he had any stuff.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He did attack him. He felt bad enough attacking a hero, but then he had like those negator packs that like burned out all the Stark tech. And I think, he slapped Stingray and he's like, wait, nothing's happening. He's like, oh crap. I just like beat the crap out of a good guy and and
it wasn't even worth it because
exactly. So the Russians get back to their ship. Red Guardian's like, it's good to see you, my friends, and you have done well. And Crimson Dynamo, one does not do well in war, one survives. Then back in the water.
Hey, wait, is this speaking of Armor Wars, is this a different Crimson Dynamo? Didn't Tony Stark kill the Crimson Dynamo?
There's been a couple Crimson Dynamo. There's been a couple guys in that armor. I think, hasn't there been at least 3 or 4?
Let's see if they're in the book. I'll check.
Yeah. Do you have? I didn't see you hold it up, Will. But do you have a trade, or is that the issues that had the alphabetical ones? Oh,
it's
nice.
It's the Essential Edition, so it's all black and white. They did big trades of these not too long ago. But this is only Professor Power to Zax. I've got the other one. I'll see if I can find the other one.
Because I have a bunch of the issues. I found them all in 50-cent bin once, and they're big and they're thick.
Oh,
but
yeah.
There's I know they updated them like every year or two because
those
new stuff.
The deluxe edition. You remember the text in those? I mean, it was like super
small.
Minuscule. Marvel, this is why I wear glasses today. But I read and reread and reread those things as a kid. I mean, those were awesome.
Oh, Charlie Esther, if you're listening to this sooner or later, here's your kindred spirit right there. He loves those handbooks of the Marvel Universe.
Oh, I love them so much.
The official handbook of the Marvel Universe for when you wanted to see the butt of every character you liked in Marvel.
That was the Master Edition, by the way.
So in the water, Cersei told Quasar, "You look a little pallid, Quasar. Has the brutish fighting affected you?" He said, Wait a minute. Look at that panel, the next to last panel on that page. When Quasar answers her, not as much as the fact that the oxygen supply inside my light sheath is dwindling. It's got the triangles around it. He's speaking Russian. But why? She's not Russian.
I had never noticed that. You're absolutely right.
He's been underwater a while,
I'm so tired. I forgot what language I'm native
speaking
tongue.
Russian now. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
He's giving a thumbs up too, which is cool. He's like, yes, thumbs up.
I'm sorry. I should translate that the proper way. He's like,
good catch. No prize for you.
Not as much as the fact that the oxygen supply inside my light sheath is dwindling. It's going full angler.
Full angler.
Remember that from episode 4?
Yep.
Yeah. In Soviet Russia, no prize gives you.
We have to Yakov Smirnoff.
We have to share no prize. And she says, I could temporarily change your lungs to gills like I did to myself. And back to English. I'll pass. Thank you for the thought. He's like, yeah.
Because what would they be? Because they would still be in the inside of his body, right?
Exactly. Inside his quantum.
Yeah, he's got
field.
Yeah.
And this is where I got confused in the storyline because Phil, you were teased a big who's gonna show up, and I figured it would be Alpha Flight, but it's Bonk from Bonk's Big Adventure.
Yes.
And he's and then he disappears from the story altogether.
Yeah.
It looks like I mean, he basically looks like a cave boy, caveman boy, but like he basically hits everything with his head. He's basically like a child juggernaut.
Yeah. Before he got the armor. Yeah.
Goes through that wall with his head. Oh, for your TurboGrafx 16.
Yeah. I never had that system.
Neither did I.
Me neither.
Nope.
Me neither.
I can only name 2 because I would see the ads in comic books for Bonk's Big Adventure and Slaughterhouse.
Yes.
I think those are the only 2. Yeah.
I don't know if
and then they made a book about the video adaptation. Yeah. Oh, did they? I don't think they probably ever made a Marvel game, but or a superhero game, but yeah. Anyway, that's my ad tangent, Bonk. Not actually part of the story.
I wonder if there's any of those on eBay and how much they're worth.
Oh, I don't know. TurboGrafx 16.
All right, so the Russians go back to their ship. So then we see Quasar entering the Quinjet. Is it just me? Look at that coloring. Is Cap not wearing pants?
Oh, yeah.
The first panel on that page, he's wearing boots but no pants.
I mean, he was left alone in the Quinjet for a while. He thought he had more time.
He's just getting comfortable, okay?
He says, good to see you're all right. All of you performed admirably. And Quasar's like, thanks. Are we going after the Atlanteans together? And Red Guardian's on the screen. You go. We pursue our traitors' countrymen. We have no interest in Atlanteans. And Cap says, no, as much as I hate to allow the Atlanteans to escape, the water winds is of greater importance.
Wait a minute. Allow the Atlanteans to escape
to their
land, on their own land? I mean, they're...
Yeah, if we leave, I don't think they're going to be a problem. But I get Cap's point, too. I don't think the Atlanteans have nukes.
Yeah, exactly.
He said, all of us want the same thing. We can work together, Red Guardian, as like Cersei's like dripping all over it, like bringing her hair out and dripping water all over him and the equipment. And Vision just phases through the wall. Captain, I've searched the area for Stingray and have been unable to locate him. Cersei's like, last time I saw him, he was battling alongside the rest of us. And Cap's like, I was afraid of this. He's not trained too. And of course, just coincidentally, that's when Stingray chooses to call. Calling Avengers Quinjet, come in. Cap, Stingray, where are you? I'm aboard the Waterwind. We've surfaced off the coast of Newfoundland. I'm not sure where, but there are berthing and repair facilities, which narrows it down to the bays of Trinity, Placentia, or Conception.
Whoa, what? Placenta? Conception?
I was going to say, doesn't Conception lead to placenta?
I don't know.
No. Nighttime activities. Friends.
I need that dropped because you mentioned that so often. We just need Conan to go on nighttime activity. And Stingray goes, I freed the British sailors and we're going to... Stingray? He was cut off. Protectors, did you hear that? Red Guardian, yes, Captain. Your comrade is in danger. Now's the time to strike out at them. Now's the time to talk to them, Cap says. They've surfaced in a populated area, and we have to assume their nuclear arsenal is still operational. Red Guardian, understand fears and sympathize with predicament of captured ally, but even more means Soviet terrorists must be stopped immediately. So Russians try to speak English, can't use like the word the.
Because.
Yes. And Cap, let's do it then. Together, efficiently, but cautiously. So,
what the lever?
Froom.
So what bay did they get to? They got to Conception Bay, St. John's, Newfoundland, a rustic island which is Canada's newest and poorest province. Ah, Canada.
Do we know anybody in Canada?
Our home in... Ooh, Weapon X is coming out?
Bob. I don't think so, Bob. Before today, the island's biggest claims to fame were its fishing industry, its accents, and its vital functions during World War II. After today, it will be known as the site of the world's worst nuclear detonation. Man, they're really spoiling the...
Yeah, although a little history tidbit as a Nova Scotia, right? That's not Newfoundland, okay? I think that's a little bit different. But they had the biggest man-made explosion prior to the atomic bomb being dropped there, was when a missile ship blew up and destroyed like half the city. And then Boston went up and saved the day, and now they send us a Christmas tree every year. So there you go.
Nice.
And now
you know. Tour guide bits with Matt.
And now you know, and no one's half the battle.
Yeah.
All right. I think I may have discovered another error.
Okay.
When the submarine surfaced, when Stingray was freeing the prisoners, remember I said 15 hours, 37 minutes?
Uh-huh.
Well, now it says 17 hours, 3 minutes and counting. We've gained 2 hours back.
I don't think there's a time zone difference between Atlantis and Canada. But,
the Russians took a coffee break, so we got 2 more hours back.
You're going to have to bring that up with Fabian next time you do an interview.
Oh, I'm talking to him Tuesday. Oh,
there you go. Hey, make sure you choose what time it is and make sure he's not 2 hours late or early.
He's gonna. I talked to him once, but I know he's gonna be like, "You think I remember that?"
Yeah.
He's like, "I was probably writing it on the train or something."
Yeah.
So the Russians are fighting amongst themselves. Fool, what were you thinking? All you were to do was feed the hostages. Instead, you allowed them to escape and contact the American heroes. And he's like, "Why, Strokoff? Why?" And Stingray's thinking, it seems there's a little dissension among the terrorists. That could come in handy later. The Russians, because now you have no choice but to execute our plan. You doubt my commitment, do you? And we hear rum as the Avengers in the Russian ship. Colonel, General, the superheroes are here. And everyone gets out of the ships and boss talk. The Canadian Armed Forces are on full alert. And Captain America, Cersei, do you think you could stop them from here if you had to? Transmute them into flies or something? The distance is too great for that, she says. If I had the slightest inkling of the mechanical fundamentals involved in the creation of a vessel that size, I would have stopped the submarine long ago. What's Quasar's excuse?
Hey, put a bubble around it. Put a bubble
Exactly.
around every one of the prisoners. Just bubble it up. That's bubble wrap them. That's the answer.
Bubble. That would be bubble.
Yeah, exactly. Just bubble them up. So the one Russian gets a bullhorn. Costume heroes. I'm the leader of the Peace Corps. We demand access to this island's maritime facilities. And Cap says, we cannot negotiate until the hostages are freed and the nuclear weapons disarmed. He has no bullhorn, so I wonder how the guy's hearing him.
Yeah.
Is there like a phone? I don't know. We will execute
super
one
shouting ability.
Why didn't you have Quasar make him one? Quasar's made a bullhorn before, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He's just standing there.
I will execute one hostage every 5 minutes until our demands are met, starting with your comrade, as he puts a gun in the Stingray's head. And Foss talks like they cannot launch their nuclear complement without from a surface position. If they were to execute the hostages, they would be in a defenseless position in approximately 5 hours. And Cap's like, are you suggesting we allow them to kill over 100 men? And Vision, they must realize as do we, that the hostages are the only things preventing us from attacking. Logic would dictate that they would spare them at all costs. And Cap's like, you're right, Vision. Peace Corps, we will not accept your demands. They have been currently proposed. And the Russian leader says, very well then. And he shoots Stingray in the back of the head. You have 5 minutes to change your minds. And Quasar says, no, they killed Stingray. And Cap's like, easy, son.
No! No!
The time for talk is over, comrades. Acceptable loss of life must be expected, and the terrorists stop, Red Guardian says. Then we hear a voice say, I don't think so, folks. And they turn. Crimson Dynamo's like, who? And Vision says, interesting. Then when we see no citizens and property will be placed in jeopardy without our say-so. In case you've forgotten, you're on Canadian soil, which means we just read it, which means jurisdiction of this little mess passes on to Alpha Flight.
Yes. To be continued.
That's right. These books were like bi-monthly, so it was be 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. If you're listening to this on the podcast, in 1 week, or if you're watching on YouTube, tomorrow, same time. So yes, to be continued. Yeah, but then we have a backup. backup story. Another Avenger, the Avengers crew.
That's right.
Written by Grunwald.
Mm-hmm.
Pencils, James Fry. Inks, Keith Williams. Letters, Gary Fields. Colors, Joe Rosas. Changing of... And I found another mistake here, too. It's changing of the guard. All right. First, and if you listen to the Quantum Zone from the beginning, you'll see the mistake too. All right. So the highly secure sub-basement of the Avengers' new headquarters complex, still under construction. Avengers Chief of Security, Michael O'Brien, has made it a point to personally escort every Stark Enterprises technician who sets foot in the maximum security areas. And he's like, it's really a shame. Hold on. It's really a shame the Avengers conference table was destroyed when Hydro Base sunk. Which they credit as what, Will?
Avengers number 309. Which
no, that's wrong. Because as we know, since we covered it during Acts of Vengeance, it was Avengers 311, and let me find my list. Avengers 311 was here we'll hit the thing again. It was Quantum Zone 13. So 20 episodes 20 episodes ago.
Yep, that's when it was. Exactly. Yep.
Avengers 311. Come on, DeFalco.
You even listen to our podcast, Tom DeFalco. Come on.
Well, this was in the past. You know.
Yeah.
Podcasts weren't around. I don't know about you guys, but I was like 12 years old.
I was like 1990. I was like 18. So,
man, that would have been a fun podcast. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got that. That'd be me. I got that wrong. So he's telling the workmen left at the end of the corridor, men, and watch your step. Wouldn't do to scratch a $50,000 piece of equipment. Now, would it?
Wow.
It looks like a plain table, but it probably has like monitor screens and stuff in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. We won't get there because Quasar's in it, but in Avengers 326, weren't Thor and Iron Man like building a new table or something?
Oh, maybe. Hang on.
Yeah, because weren't they putting like a giant A on it or something?
I'll check. Let me check on that.
Oh, I did. Because I think that weren't they complaining about this table?
They don't appreciate Michael O'Brien's work for them.
Stark's like, you spent how much on a table?
What is wrong with you?
Because they put it down. And he's like, okay, easy now. He's like, all right, let's move out. He's like, this is the team's inner sanctum. Once it's finally finished, no one but the Avengers themselves will be allowed in here. Not even me. And the one guy's like, anything else, Mr. O'Brien? No, report back to your section head. And he's like, the sooner the technos are off this level, the safer I'll feel. Though Tony Stark's thoroughly screened all these guys. He sees a flash of something. Hey, what's that? He's like, thought I saw light movement at the end of the corridor. Nobody's supposed to be down here but the three Joes moving the assembly table. No, three. Unless he counts himself, but I only saw two guys. It says, hey, who goes there? He says, kind of spooky, but the lightning on energy saver. And he's like, huh? The exit's still sealed. I would have heard of something if it were broken. He's like, did I imagine it? And he turns his head and sees a guardsman.
Yeah,
be like,
kind of cool.
You at the vault? But he's like, don't know how you got down here, pal. He pulls out a gun, but I'm like, wouldn't you be like, hey, wait, aren't you? I don't know.
Shoot now, ask questions later.
I guess, but when you think a guardsman would be a good guy, but he's like, but you'd better. He's like, what? I guess it's like a magnetic thing. Gets the gun take off him. He's like, tisk. The guardsman says, tisk, tisk, Michael, me boy. You're losing your grip, ain't ye? And the guardsman starts taking off his helmet. He's like, that voice. No, it sounds like, indeed, me loving baby brother. 'Tis me. It's like, Kevin, no, it can't be you. You're dead. You died in a battle with Iron Man years ago. No editor's note. What the heck?
Yeah, come on.
It's Grunwald. Grunwald knows all this stuff.
Of course he does.
He's like, that's right, Michael, I did. And just what did ye do about it? Did ye avenge me? Did ye make Iron Man pay for what he did to your only living kin? No, quite the opposite. He says, I was going to. I put on the guardsman armor, squared off against him, but he convinced me that what you believed about him was wrong, Kevin. He didn't try to steal your woman, Kevin. Oh, please, it's Stark. He was trying to steal everyone's woman.
That's Tony Stark, yeah.
And you bought that load of horse manure, did ye? Believing a conniving hotshot like him over your own flesh and blood, see? What kind of brother are ye? Did ye ever love me at all? And what has happened to your brogue? You turning your back on your heritage too now, eh? He's like, no, Kevin, no, this can't be happening. People don't come back from the dead. Yeah, this is Marvel Comics. Nobody comes back from the dead.
Especially not to accent shame.
Yeah.
Exactly. This must be a trick of some sort. I was waiting for him to say, people don't come out from the dead. This isn't an X-Men book. This must be a trick of some sort. You're not really Kevin. You're just someone in a rubber mask sent here too. Then the quote-unquote brother throws him. Don't you wish? The fact is, I am your brother, come back from the grave today on the anniversary of me death to tell ye how disappointed I am in ye. Yeesh.
He just didn't like the new table he picked out.
Yeah, that's totally it.
You're down here interior decorating when you should be defending my honor. No, this is a trick. One of the Avengers' enemies is impersonating you. Trying to get at me for some reason, and he starts running. I've got to get help. He must be jamming my pocket signaler. You may run, brother, dear, but you cannot escape your guilty conscience as he takes off with his boot jets. The alarm system down here isn't online yet, but if I can make it to the weapons cache, I'm coming, Mikey, coming to get ye, coming to take ye back to the void with me. It's like, made it. Come on, as he's opening the door. So, wait, so the weapons are in a cabinet that says fire exit? Is that supposed to be a disguise, though? Maybe so people don't know where the weapons are?
Yeah, perhaps.
Can you imagine if there was a fire and someone opened the door and they're like, oh, crap, this is just a closet with guns in it.
Yeah, a firefight. Yeah.
He's like, okay, he grabs a gun and says, okay, you infernal phantasm or whatever you are, another inch closer and I'll sear your head open. Would ye really compound your betrayal by killing me with your own two hands? Go ahead, mama's boy. Pull the trigger, send me back to the void, and you be done with it. And he's like, I'm dead already. What's the difference? And he's like, that voice, it's not fake. It really is Kevin. I can't, Kevin. I do love you no matter what you did. Do with me what you will. And he shoots him with, I guess, repulsors or whatever. Like, welcome to the void, brother. And next time,
he bevoshes the floor with him.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, so next time we'll get another backup and, like it says, the third target. And no letters page, just an ad for the Spider-Man Spidey's Totally Tiny Adventure and the annuals that year when it gets shrunk down.
Yeah. It's not a very tiny adventure if it spans 3 annuals. That's the size of
the biggest little adventure you'll ever read.
Well, all these backups are leading to, which I
Avengers 325,
which I think has a really cool cover, just because it's so offbeat. You know, it's they're going to a party.
The Avengers in plain clothes. Yeah. Wendell in his glasses. And Wendell's glasses, Cersei's cleavage. Yeah, we know.
Yeah. The youth, right? Our youth.
So, next episode, which, like I said, if you watch on YouTube, we get tomorrow. We're getting some Alpha Flight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Who knows what time will be on the counter because that thing jumps around.
We're going forward, backward. It's very loopy.
I better shut my mouth. I want to talk to Fabian on Tuesday. He's going to talk this, and he's just going to be like, He's gonna be like, "What? Bad mouthing my old work buddy." Oh.
Well, and I was just looking at the first page. I love how the very first issue had the Avengers on one side. This is the second issue. It has the Soviet super soldiers on that side. The next one at the bottom is got
the Alpha Flight. Yes,
they're running out of stuff.
Yeah,
we get Alpha Flight next issue, and then don't the Atlanteans come back in at some point too? So
I think so.
You got the Avengers, you get the Russians, you get Alpha Flight, you get the Atlanteans, and some terrorists.
Yes, the Atlanteans do come back, but just left, right, and bottom still. They don't put the Atlantean scroll across the top.
Oh, these racists.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, there's a bunch of fishmen.
Mm-hmm.
All righty, so any final thoughts? I mean, I think Quasar did pretty good here, except for that one panel where he laps in the Russian for some reason.
For some strange reason. No, but we've gone almost an entire podcast without talking about the new year and something that's happening in the new year.
Oh, of course. Will always with his journey or January in the mystery.
Yes, we get back to Quasar. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, dude, I just hope you don't.
Am I hyping it too
much?
Heart
attack before January, man. You're so excited. Man. I mean, I love those issues too, but I can't wait for Journey and Cosmos.
Well, I mean,
I look forward to reading them out of the trade to feel fancy.
Yeah, it is. That I'm actually kind of looking forward to rereading them too. But the email that we got from
but that reminds me, I think
from Robert.
Okay, I don't know if I have that. So you read that, and I think because Soshin, I think commented in our group the other day. So.
Well, I'm looking at those issues with kind of fresh eyes because one of the things that Robert mentioned in the email was that the first 12 issues were structured really like classic Marvel stories, but then 13 kicks off the more arc-based, which is kind of what we started moving toward in the 90s and, that we have today.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a while since I've read them, but I kind of want to look at them through those eyes a little bit because I hadn't considered that, and it's really kind of cool.
Yeah. But I'm glad you reminded me. Soshin wrote in our group when I see if you follow our group, our Quantum Zone group on YouTube, we'll tell you when we're recording if you want to watch live.
Mm-hmm.
So Soshin wrote, not sure if I liked hearing the sound of my voice on the podcast. Remember, he was at the voice last episode. Yeah. He said, I guess talking about writing. Plus, this way I can get my thoughts out clear. Anyways, I'm a super Quasar fan, but going back to the Avengers series after a few Quasar issues is such a huge letdown. Hey, we're going to come in 2019 strong, Soshin.
January in the mystery.
January in the mystery. He's like, I'm convinced the writers don't know how to accurately plug him into a group setting, at least not this early in his career. I believe in a group setting, they make all the heroes more or less feel equal, but there's definitely a pecking order in the Avengers. There's two very good instances of this. On page 9, with Quasar saying we need, I think he's talking about last issue. Quasar saying we may need more muscle and asks if Thor is available. He really doesn't have a man crush on him, as I said. As we all know, he really doesn't have a man crush on him, as we all know he likes ditzy secretaries. It's him acknowledging that he's below Thor with regards to pure strength and maybe overall power too. I did love how on page 18, when Stingray swims past Quasar fighting Dynamo, that he states, I'm not much use when heavyweights like that fight each other. That's a clear acknowledgement that Quasar is indeed a heavyweight, even though the writers had him make the world's thinnest netting to wrap Dynamo.
Yeah.
If this was a Quasar issue instead of an Avengers issue, Quasar would have gotten the whole group there in a fraction of the time and without a doubt could have single-handedly took them out like he did against the Squadron Supreme. If you ask me, Quasar might be the most powerful Avenger, and when I see clear examples of him being nerfed, to create a more dramatic fight. It just irks me.
I'm with you, man.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Speak the truth. You speak the truth.
wait till January, man. He gets
one of
some
my
examples of his power.
One of my favorite scenes from one of the Infinity War issues. Basically, everybody has got together. Thanos, Warlock, the Infinity Watch show up, and immediately Quasar puts them in a bubble because nobody's listening to Cap, and all of them just go straight after him. And Cap's like, "You're doing?" He goes like, "Yeah, I didn't think anybody was listening to you." So, and they can't bust through the shield. They're just beating on it, and
exactly.
Of course, that is post Cosmos and Collision, where he is, I think, fully into the power at that point. He's achieved everything that he can.
Well, that's it. Now that you bring that up, that's a question I had for you guys. Like, I know we're doing every part of Operation Galactic Storm, even the parts Quasar isn't in. So we're doing all 19 of those. I think on our list of like Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War, like I think I just have the issues listed that Quasar actually appears in.
I think in my mind, that's fine because it's Infinity Wars. The main story is the story, but with Galactic Storm, each chapter is a part of the story, whereas the main story is the Infinity War, and these are just crossovers, right?
So so I'm fine either way. So you don't want to do every issue of Gauntlet and Infinity War?
Yeah, I'm fine not. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I'm fine not doing it. I mean, we could kind of talk, like maybe we could do the issue where he's in and kind of do like a quick once over, like not devote a whole episode to the ones he's not in, but kind of do a last time on, or
just do a quick explanation, like this is how we got here.
Yeah. I'd be fine for that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. So, anything else we have to discuss?
If you want to buy a TurboGrafx 16 on eBay, you can probably get it for around $50 with no games. But it's gonna cost you a lot more with games, and all the games they all seem real generic. There's one called Double Dungeon, but with Double Dragon font, and although they somehow got the rights to a Darkwing Duck game, but that's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you $95.
Wow, nostalgia will cost you.
I don't. I can't remember if we mentioned it or not, but Cosmos and Collision came out.
Yes, it did.
That's right.
Todd
So
McFarlane's Magna Opus. Yeah.
Everyone go buy that or ask Santa for it for Christmas because it'll come in handy starting in January.
Yeah. Why, Phil?
January the mystery. But I mean, not even for that, but for Cosmos and the Great Race and
all kinds of cool stories in between. Yeah.
The new costume.
Yeah.
That only lasted what? 8 issues?
Basically, just through Cosmos.
Yeah.
I mean, it did appear in some of those Avengers issues we're going to cover. So
that's right, and it did show up in Infinity Gauntlet, and Grunwald had to explain it away.
I like that explanation.
Yeah, he goes, "Oops, I just wore the wrong costume. Sorry,
Yeah. Oh, I had it in the wrist gem. Oh, yeah.
I need to get that out of there."
Yeah. That is awesome. All right, so should we get out of here?
Sounds good to me, guys.
All right, so everyone, send us your thoughts. Like we said, our recording schedule we might do more often. If you're listening on the podcast, it's not going to affect the podcast. Just we'll get one a week. But like this week, if you're watching on YouTube, we're going to record the next episode tomorrow night, same time. So join us and send your thoughts. If you don't like your voice like Soshin, you can always email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/QuantumZonePod, and join our group. We have the page and we have the group. So get all your info. Join, follow both at Quantum Zone Pod and at CL Sidekicks on Twitter. Follow CL Sidekicks on Instagram. That's where we post our stuff on Instagram. And the voicemail for those of you braver than Soshin, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. I joke because I love Soshin. All right, Will, if you can put down your trade paperback, where can people get a hold of you and your book?
My precious. No, sorry. My book. You can find me. I'm WALLRED on Twitter, Gmail, and you can find me at diaryofnight.com, which I should get one of my trades over here and love on it too one of these days. So let's see. You can always find me at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org. But yeah.
You should get a Diary of Night and put it in the case there, like under the hammer, just right, so you know. Yeah. So yeah. So it's like always on camera. Yeah.
Always on camera. I'll be real subtle about that in the future. Yeah.
I know tomorrow night there's gonna be two. It's gonna be Diary of Night, and Quasar Volume 2 is gonna be sitting right next.
Right in the middle of it. Yeah. I'm on that right now.
Yeah. So yeah, get Quasar, Cosmos, and Collision and Diary of Night.
There you go. Awesome.
And while you're sitting at home, Matt Kona, where can people find some great horror movie reviews?
Well, I've been doing a lot of sitting at home watching horror movies and recapping them. And you can find that if you look up Yale and Matt Recap Stuff. That's YAEL is how you spell Yale, and Matt is MATT. And we have things on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud. There's a bunch of places. And by the time you listen to this episode, we're going to be done. We did a movie every day in October. It was stressful. We'll probably do a podcast talking about just how big a bite this was to chew or something. I can't even form phrases coherently anymore. and how desensitized to mindless violence we've become.
Dude, 30 days or 31 days of podcasts every day. You are a god among men, okay?
Oh, my Lord. Are you just like, oh, yeah, they cut his head off. Okay.
What next? Yeah. And we made it harder on ourselves because we watched the longest movie last week, which was 2.5 hours long. Usually the average is around an hour and a half. That's an extra hour.
Wow.
So it's been tough. So yeah, but yeah, it's been fun. It's an experience. That's for sure. So yeah.
Awesome.
So listen in here. Yeah.
Check that on YouTube. Check us on YouTube.
Yeah, please do.
All right.
On that note,
we're gonna get out of here. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Like I said, you can join us on YouTube tomorrow night on the podcast. We'll see you next week for more international intrigue
with Alpha Flight.
So with some special guests, eh?
Take off, you Atlanteans. Take off.
But they're going to be really polite about it, right? I mean,
yeah.
Hey guys, we brought some legal weed.
That's right.
Don't be a hoser.
How much more can we insult your country, Canada? Tune in next time and find out.
Yeah. Well, you know, with the Alpha Freight's original name is supposed to be the Poutine Titans.
All right, Quantum Zoners. If you still love us, join us next time. And Quantum Zoners, keep it quantum.